I did it again. After my last big art supply shopping spree, I promised myself not to buy any art supplies this year. As you can see, I obviously have no self-control. As always, I'm trying to find justifications for myself, and this time it's my upcoming birthday, as well as me surviving COVID, and also celebrating me hitting 2,500 subscribers. Now, without further ado, let's talk about my orders. I placed 2 orders, both of them in German art supply stores. The first one being Gerstaecker, which is where I got this box from. And also I ordered something at Peter's Art. That one was a small order, but when I went there in person to pick it up, I saw all the art supplies and I just could not contain myself. And just like last time, they put the content into this beautiful bag. It's so heavy, I have a hard time holding it. If you are in Germany or if you are in Europe, this is, in my opinion, the best art supply store ever. They have the nicest staff ever, and they have all the rare art supplies you cannot find elsewhere. And to be honest with you guys, I went there with the purpose to film in the store, but the second I went in, I saw all the people, my social anxiety kicked in, and I chickened out. Sorry for that. If you want to see what it looks like, they have a YouTube channel, and I think there's also a bunch of photos on Google. With this haul, I decided we're gonna do it a little different. I plan to unbox everything in front of the camera for you, just like last time. However, it's so many paints. It would take at least 5 videos to swatch everything for you in real time, but there's just so many other videos I want to do for you. The Gouache skin tone palette, the studio tour, the Q&A, and lots of painting process videos. So my idea is I want to swatch everything off camera and put it in the video for you. I think there's no point in bragging and flexing with art supplies if you cannot see what the paints actually look like. So I hope you appreciate my efforts, and let's jump right in. All right, let's do it, guys. Okay guys, I've been waiting for my neighbors to be quiet for like 15 minutes, and now that they are, it started raining. It is what it is. Let's start with the content from Peter's Art. It's super heavy. So let's start with the first item. Okay. So we got more of the Caran d'Ache Luminance colored pencils. For those of you who have watched my channel, you know that I just discovered this colored pencil recently and I am so in love with it. Let's spread them here. So what I find really amazing with these colored pencils is no matter which colors you pick, they always look great together. I think their color range is absolutely fantastic. Let me hold it into the camera for you. So I had my swatch book with me, so I knew exactly which colors I didn't own yet. Let's go one by one. We got pink white, sanguine russet, then we got rose anthracnone, purplish red, we got apricot, middle verdigris, cornelian. Ooh, this one's beautiful terracotta kind of orange, a little more vibrant, love it. Then we got burnt sienna 10%. I think I got the standard burnt sienna as well as the burnt sienna 50%, so now I have the 10% as well. Then we got Herculaneum red, butternut, perylene brown, which almost looks more like a red. I'm really into dark reds. And then we got light cobalt blue. And that's all of them. At the time of filming this video, I don't know what the colors actually look like. You as a viewer, you are ahead because you actually get to see the swatches. I have a whole video dedicated to them. And if you hear about them for the first time, to sum it up, what I love about them is that they are matte. They have less of a sheen, which is great for photos or filming. The color application is awesome. You don't need to put much pressure on the paper. And they just feel so powdery and soft. They were definitely a spontaneous purchase. And same goes for these brush pens. So these are the Pentel brush sign pens, and I already own some other colors. They are great for writing as well as for outlines, and I personally like to use them in my sketchbook. This is the nib. I don't know if the nib is felt. To me, it feels like a plasticky material. However, it's very bendy and you might actually love them if you are into typography, calligraphy, bullet journaling. Now, if you're planning to go over them with watercolors, please don't. They are not waterproof. The colors I got are burgundy, gray, blue, blue violet, as well as pale brown. They were fairly inexpensive, and I think this one is great to use in portraits in my opinion.
Next.
Now the labeling on this medium is both in French and German, but I will put up the English name for you. And everybody who is into gouache and wants to keep their gouache wet in a stay wet palette or a plain air storage container, this is what you want to get. I found out about this medium on Lina Revo's channel. I'm going to link the video down below for you. And a few drops of this medium keeps your gouache wet for way longer. It does not dilute or brittle the paint, and I used it with my poster colors that dried out successfully. So I re-wet them with distilled water, and then I put a few drops of this into the poster color jars, gave it a nice stir. It's been a couple of weeks and I checked and it's just as wet as on the first day. I emptied up an entire bottle for my 40 poster colors, and I got this bottle for my custom gouache palettes I'm gonna make. All credit goes to Lina Revo. She is an amazing artist, a fantastic plein air painter, and also an amazing teacher. Definitely go and check her out. We are gonna have a look at the next product, which is this here. It's Rohrer and Klingner Zeichentusche, a permanent ink, and the colors I got are Old Golden Green, Burnt Sienna, as well as Turquoise. I reviewed them on my channel and I love them. I love that they don't get too dull when they dry. They come with a dropper, and there might be amazing inks from other brands out there, but this is a local brand, so I think I'm gonna stick to them. Okay, and now another ink. So this is called Acrylic Artist Ink and the color is copper. And this is actually the second time I'm buying this ink. I think it's from a Spanish brand and I hope I'm not butchering it, but I think it's pronounced Vallejo. And I tried other copper colored inks and this one is definitely my favorite. I love the shade of it. A lot of the other copper inks I tried were a little too translucent for me. This one is really opaque and has a thick consistency, and I love that it's not too streaky. I love to use it in my paintings for jewelry, as well as some extra shiny details. Okay, let's see what else I got. Okay, I got a bag full of full pens. I don't know how many are in there, but it's a lot. Let me get one out for you. Okay, so in my last haul, I got some watercolor palettes, empty palettes that came with additional half pens. And I have a lot of them. I personally prefer half pens because you can fit more colors in a palette. However, I read somewhere that it is way easier to ruin your brushes if you use half pens. And the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to me. Usability wise, full pens are definitely better. They do use up quite some space. However, brushes are really expensive and I don't want to go and re-buy brushes all the time. Okay, now moving forward, you will see a lot of paints. Let's start with some tubes of acrylic gouache. I got 7 tubes of Turner acryl gouache. Those are the ones with the standard formula, so they're not the Japanese colors. And just like the pens, this was a spontaneous purchase. I love these paints so much, and initially I was just gonna buy this color here, the mustard. However, once I was at the shelf, I could not resist. Shame on me. So the colors that I got are bright yellow, aubergine, beryl green. I got pink, a mustard, aqua blue, and coral red. I don't want to ramble about them for too long because I have a video about them. I reviewed them, and spoiler alert, they are my favorite acrylic gouache. Really love them. Now next we got 4 tubes of traditional gouache. So this is Holbein brand. They're from the Irodori line. This line is inspired by the colors of the 4 seasons, as well as traditional Japanese paintings. So these 2 colors, Myosotosis blue as well as Angie or crimson, these got recommended to me. I also got this one, as well as this beautiful muted green that has an ashy tint to it. And I don't know if you are aware of it, because all of the painting processes that I posted on YouTube were made in acrylic gouache, and I'm now on a mission to get better at watercolors. However, traditional gouache is my happy comfort medium. It's the medium that I feel most comfortable with, and I just can't wait to try them, you guys. Aren't they beautiful? Schmincke Designer's gouache is pretty good as well, but I still think that Holbein as well as Winsor & Newton are my most favorite gouache. I heard that it's not easy to get your hands on them, and I'm very fortunate because Peter's Art does sell them in individual tubes, which I really like. The Irodori line has 4 sets: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I don't know how many paints each set contains, but I found that their sets look pretty similar, and that's why I got individual tubes. They look so pretty. And so this is not the only paint I got from Holbein. I also got some of their watercolors. Let's start with the small tubes. And by the way, this is my first time trying their watercolor. I got Permanent Alizarin Crimson as well as Horizon Blue. And then I got a lot of big tubes. I got the Jean Brilliant number 1. In my last video, I asked you about a vanilla watercolor, and one of you recommended this color to me. The color on the tube looks like exactly what I was looking for, and I'm really curious to try it. Also, I got Jean Brilliant number 2, as well as Shell Pink, Brilliant Pink, Verditer Blue, I hope I pronounced this correctly. I got Gray of Gray, then I got Davies Gray, as well as Shadow Green. Now, Shadow Green I also own by Shinhan. It's a watercolor gouache hybrid from their past line, and their Shadow Green is one of my favorite watercolors of all time. I'm not gonna lie, I am addicted to this color. It looks like a black when you apply it thickly, and when you water it down, it's the most gorgeous muted green. And I couldn't find that paint anywhere online. But when I saw that Holbein has this color as well, I checked the pigment and I saw that it is made of the same pigment. So this is a PBK 31, and I'm dying to see what it looks like. Now this one, Davies Gray, looks so beautiful on the tube. And to me it looked more like an ashy green. However, I checked the pigments and there is only brown, black and white in it. This one is a PBR7, a PBK6, as well as PW6. So yeah, the only experience I have with Eastern watercolors are 5 or 6 different Magello colors, as well as the Shinhan Pass watercolor gouache hybrid I talked about earlier. And I only heard good things about Holbein watercolors. However, a lot of their paints have white pigments in them. They're less transparent and they don't flow as nicely. However, I like how creamy Korean and Japanese watercolors are, and I like to use them a lot in combination with gouache. And by in combination, I mean I don't mix them together, I use both in the same painting is what I mean. Really dying to try them. Okay guys, just so you know, I got a lot of watercolors, and by a lot, I really mean a lot. Thing is, I don't own that many watercolors really. Before I got myself a palette of Schmincke Horodam, I got myself a set of Shinhan Pass, the watercolor gouache hybrid I mentioned, and the reason why I got it was back then, many years ago, I was curious about both mediums, watercolor as well as gouache, and I didn't quite know which one was for me, so I thought it was a good idea to get the hybrid. However, even though I love some of the paints, there are a few tubes which behave just like gouache and a few tubes that are just like watercolor, but most of the paints behave like neither. It's just so hard to explain. Yes, they're super highly pigmented, but it's just like they're matte watercolors as well as matte gouache. So my plan is to pick a few colors that I actually like and then to give away the set. Probably to my cousin who's also into art. So yeah, it's only now that I'm starting to explore the world of watercolors. The other reason why I got this many is because you are responsible for it, guys. You made so many nice suggestions in the comment section. So I needed to check them out. So this one here by Sennelier is also one that got recommended to me. This is Caput Mortem, and I heard many times that their Caput Mortem is particularly pretty. And just like indigo, I am addicted to Caput Mortem or Indian Red. Not the only Caput Mortem I got in this haul. And then I got this one. So this is the Shinhan Professional Watercolor PWC in Peacock Green. I've seen the swatch somewhere online and I found this color so appealing. And then I got more super granulating colors. I got tubes as well as pens. This is the first one that I got. It's the Galaxy Brown. It's a beautiful color shifting brown that is included in their Galaxy set. And the pigments in here are PV62 as well as PBR6. So it has violet and brown in it. And it's only this year that I started to get more into muted colors and browns. I used to buy vibrant colors only and I no longer do that. Then I got Deep Sea Violet in a big tube. Those of you who watched my last swatching session know that I'm obsessed with this color. This one's a beautiful ultramarine with some browns in it. I think this one really is my favorite from all the super granulating colors that I got. And I know that after I showed you this paint, many of you went and put that one into their cart. You will not be disappointed with it, guys. Okay, and next one, we got a paint that I've been most excited about. I live in Germany, but I am actually Polish, and this Polish brand has been praised by so many people. Here it is. I got a lot of Roman Schmoll watercolors, guys. This is how many I got. If you're thinking I'm crazy, you're absolutely entitled to think that. And I suggest we just go box by box, starting with this one. Okay, so there's 4 full pens in each. And first thing I notice is that the paper that is wrapped around it does look like watercolor paper. So I appreciate how their swatch goes from dark to light. We got the logo and the swatch on the front. On the side we have the pigment information as well as information on the transparency and light fastness. On the other side we have the color number, and on the back side we have the name. This one is the transparent brown, Aquarius gray. Then we got Misty Morning, a color that I heard so much about. I even followed some tutorials on how to create your own Misty Morning. I think the first one I saw was by Kimberly Crick. Really love her channel now that I'm learning more about pigments. So I can't wait to compare my mix with the original. And then we got Szarość Przybysza, or Przybyszy's Gray. Isn't it funny how I usually butcher names and I get it right this time? So yeah, for everyone out there who's not Polish, if you can't pronounce this, I don't blame you. I haven't researched it, but I assume Przybysz is a Polish artist. Next, we got Red Ochre, Shadow Violet Light. Then we got Chromium Green Oxide and Cobalt Violet Deep. We got Lapis Lazuli. On the side it says PBN/A Earth Pigment. Now this information doesn't tell me much. It is quite the mystery to me, so I gotta research this. Anyway, then we got Buff Titanium. By the way, I will try Buff Titanium by many brands. Then we got Malachite, which is also an earth pigment. And then we got Golden Yellow. Alright, next. Ooh guys, what a surprise. We got 4 more Horadam super granulating colors in here. It's tiny half pens, Shire Blue, which is I think the only Shire color that I own now. We got Tundra Orange, Tundra Rose, as well as Tundra Violet. Especially Tundra Rose and Tundra Violet got recommended to me a lot. Putting them aside, and let's continue with Roman Schmal. So we got Vivianite Blue Ochre, also an earth pigment. We got Shadow Gray. Next one is Cobalt Sea Blue. We got the tint, which I think is also known as Flesh Tint. And I appreciate it so much that many brands are changing the name. There's so many varieties in flesh tones, and I think it is kinda, you know, the word that starts with R and ends with ist to say this is a flesh tint. So yeah, this is now called the tint. And then we got Quinacridone Purple and of course Caput Mortem. And then we got Perylene Green, such a beautiful color, reminds me of Shadow Green. Another green, this time it's Green Earth, also known as Terra Verde. I only have 2 Winsor & Newton watercolors, guys, and they're both Terra Verde. One of them is the regular Terra Verde, and I think the other one is green shade, or maybe yellow shade. Anyway, these 2 are the most disappointing watercolors I ever got. They have extreme binder issues. I really love the appearance of the color. However, from what I've heard, this particular pigment doesn't behave too well. I hope this one is better than the Winsor & Newton one. Then we got Ultramarine Intense. Ultramarine is such a useful color. And then we got Mars Red. Can't wait to see how this one compares to Burnt Sienna. Okay guys, this is the final tiny box. We got Manganese Brown, then we got Nickel Titanite Yellow. I discovered this color recently and I really love this shade of yellow. I got the Roman Schmal Lavender, and as you can see by my nails, I'm a lot into these shades of blues. And lastly we got Naples Yellow Light. I think Arlie Bean, I love her channel, go and check it out by the way. If I remember correctly, Roman Schmal watercolors were her favorite watercolor from 2021. And when I checked them out, I was so surprised about how affordable they are, as well as their insanely huge range of colors. So yeah, that's it. The bag is empty, but we're not done yet. I still have the box from Gerstaecker, and while I'm making room for more paints, please take this opportunity to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy it so far. If you are a returning viewer and you are not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Like most people, I do have a day job and I do YouTube on the side. And that being said, I do love creating videos so much, and I hope I can do it more in the future. So any support from you is much appreciated. Let's start with this little tube of Potter's Pink by Winsor & Newton. I really like the Schminke version, and some people I heard they actually prefer this one. Potter's Pink is a color that can be a little gooey. Like I said, their Terra Verde was such a disappointment, which is why I never bothered with Winsor & Newton watercolors. However, so many people love their watercolors, which is why I wanted to give this one a try, as well as this one. So this is a half pan of aqua green, and I cannot remember who it was, but one of my followers recommended this one to me. They said they love it. I checked the swatch online and I really liked it. And it's just so tiny and cute. So looking forward to trying it. And then we got more half pens. This one by Rembrandt. I have Naples Yellow by Schminke, and it is very opaque. And I heard that some people actually prefer this one here. So I got the Naples Yellow Deep. Look how adorable this is. And then I got Naples Yellow Red. And this one here, the Dusk Pink. I heard that this one is a crazy granulating color. And then I also got Lavender as well as Buff Titanium. And just like Caput Mortem, I wanted to try both Lavender and Buff Titanium across brands. So that's why I got them. And then I got a lot of paints by White Knights. Oh Lord. Let's go one by one. We got maroon, we got warm green, and then this one, coral. One of my subscribers said that this is their comfort color. Then I got Petersburg ochre, I got rose quartz, as well as peach. I got royal blue, I got lavender, and I cannot get enough of lavender. I got maca, Naples flesh, I got pearl gray, Marengo, I got pink peony, and lastly I got dunes. So yeah, this is a lot. I believe White Knights was Arlie Bean's favorite watercolor of 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the person who recommended coral to me said that it is so easy to reactivate them. By the way, a lot of the colors do have white pigment in them. They're Russian watercolors, I believe, and I am curious to see how they perform in comparison to Japanese and Korean watercolors. I'm so excited about them. Okay guys, and now we have some more Daniel Smith watercolors. I fell in love with this brand and I got new colors. So I got two half pens. First one, Rose of Ultramarine, which I heard so many good things about, as well as Cobalt Turquoise. Now the Cobalt Turquoise has a warning on the back side. It's a toxic paint, and reading this warning makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. And then we have this tiny box here. And we have some 5ml tubes in here. After my last haul, I got a dot card for their Primatech colors, so those are the ones that I chose. We start with the 5ml tubes. We have Sodalite Genuine. This one had such pretty granulation. And then we got Piemontite Genuine. And then a color that is not Primatech, Cobalt Blue Violet. Okay guys, just a little more patience. I got two more boxes. I got another buff titanium, and since I got this color from several brands, I got the small tube. And now moving on with the large tubes, 50ml, we got Primatech Hematite Burnt Scarlet Genuine. Then we got Fuchsia Genuine, also a Primatech color. Oh, I see this one's not from Daniel Smith. What do we have here? Another White Knights. It's a tube this time, and I assume this is Caput Mortem. And yes, indeed, Caput Mortem. So the last two tubes I got are Prussian Green, as well as Nickel Titanite Yellow. Alright guys, happy birthday to me, I guess. Exploring all these paints will take me months, if not years. And this is why I now made the conscious decision to not buy any more paints. I will not buy any more art supplies except for paper. Brands have started to reach out to me and asked me to test their products. And even though I like to do it, I don't have too much free time. So I really got to think about that. I think I'm gonna try it just to see if collaborations are something for me. And the other reason is, I know that art supplies make me super happy, but the truth is, all these fancy art supplies, even though it's nice to own them, they don't make you a better artist. I really want to focus more on actual studies, on sketching and painting. That said, if you're curious to see what I create with these art supplies, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you have any of the products and you have an opinion that you want to share with us, leave me a comment. Reading your comments has taught me so much more than watching art videos actually. So many of you have so much knowledge. I'm super impressed and I'm super grateful for that. If you could pick 3 different paints from everything that you've seen today, which ones would it be? I'm so looking forward to your comments. Anyway, that's it for the video. Please take care. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic day.